that are seeing this channel for the first time or visiting this channel for the first time, please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button for more videos. So today I have a very special guest, and before I introduce her, I'm going to talk a little bit more about how I got to know about her and how I met her. So there was this time I was browsing through my Facebook feeds, and then I found this beautiful photo of a certain woman I had no idea of. I decided to save the photo, put her on my WhatsApp status, and a certain friend of mine recognized her. And she tells me, I know this lady. I was like, wow. So now she decided to do a screenshot and send it to her on WhatsApp. And then to my surprise, this lady, the amazing Mwewa, responded to me, and we had arranged for lunch. But because of Corona, and now I'm officially meeting her for the first time and we're having this conversation. But before meeting her for the first time, we've been having mini chats on WhatsApp, and I can assure you guys, she's an amazing person. She's, for lack of better term, I'm going to call her Grace. She's Grace. So Mwewa, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I'm so excited that you're here. I'm just going to let you introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about who you are.
Okay, so Mwewa, you know those days I would start with Mwewa, it's this, that. I'll start with this. Mwewa is a mother. A proud mother. So I'm a wife. I'm a whole lot of things. I've always said Mwewa is a brand, because there's so many things that is about me. So she's like a brand. Let me give an example, like the way Boom is, Trade Kings is, right? So in Trade Kings, Trade Kings will take out so many other brands, and other products, you know, and I think that's what Mwewa is all about. So you find that today I'm preaching, I'm speaking about the word of God. The next day I am PR person. I'm into media as well. So I'm a whole lot of things. I can't even pick which one Mwewa is. But all I know is that Mwewa is an amazing person.
Yes.
That is all. Yeah, Mwewa is an amazing person, a go-getter. Whatever she puts her hands to do, she's gonna do it.
Yeah. Mwewa is Grace. You guys, this is an amazing person. So you're also a CEO at Ubonte, right?
Yes, that's something. You see, that's something I didn't even talk about, because there's so many things that get out of me, you know. And I feel like so many of these things have happened within a short period of time. But at the same time, I'm really, really grateful, because at the end of the day, it all narrows down to one thing: I'm a child of God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you talk about Ubonte?
Okay, so Ubuntu.
Yes.
When I started out as a fashion designer, I didn't have a name for it. No, I didn't have a name for it. What used to happen was, I would start making something. Okay, I didn't know how to sew, let's say. Then I was in formal employment, and when it dawned on to me that I needed to get into fashion, because I just love dressing. It was fashion for me, not for the people. So I just started an advertising, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you know. People would come and buy stuff, but I realized, no, I needed to make it something big. So when I started, I had different kinds of names with it. So 2017, the first fashion show I did, first Zambian Fashion Week, I participated in. So many things happened. So you know, my greatest inspiration then was my late father, and he died just when I did my fashion week. And then my brand was called ML Patience, Mwewa Going Back Patience. So I've always wanted to inspire. I always feel like when I do something, it's just not about me.
Yes.
It's just not about me. It's the where it's coming from, you know. So then I went through a lot of things. I was so depressed. My dad had left. That was the only person I had then, you know. And I stopped working for some time. I couldn't concentrate. I needed to get me back. So while I was going through, I actually went through counseling.
Okay.
Yeah. So while I was going through counseling and everything, and my comeback is what made me change the name. So when I decided I was going to work again. So my working again, I wanted to rebrand.
Yes.
But you see, I was stuck in between rebranding, or people take me serious, or people say, are you changing stuff, or people say you're not decided.
Yeah.
But then I had to believe in God. So you know, it's something that I've always, and by the way, you're gonna hear a lot of God, because I'm like that. I'm so much of a Jesus freak.
Yes.
So this one time, you know, I was speaking to God about it.
And that's one thing I like about you. That's why I'm saying Mwewa is great. Like you're so open about your God, and it's so evident. Whatever.
I can't hide it.
Yes.
I can't hide it. And this is the thing. And I always tell people who want to deal with me, whether you're going to be my husband, actually, that's the first thing I told my husband when we met. I'm like, look, if you want to get in a relationship with me, this God factor, you don't have to distract it. Because trust me, if you're gonna distract my God factor, you and I will never work. It doesn't matter where we can reach. Because you wouldn't understand where I'm coming from. I've been through a lot of things. It's only God that could help me at a certain point. So I'm not going to come now and look all glummy and somebody says, oh, and I get to turn on my God. No, I'm not like that. My God is one who never leaves anywhere. Stuck on it.
So there was this, sorry to cut you short. So there was this, is it campaign or challenge that you are doing for Ubuntu, where you're giving out dresses to the brides?
Oh yeah, so that campaign for Ubuntu came on later on. So now you see, maybe if I explain the whole name, you understand why I do a lot of giving.
Yes.
So at this particular moment, actually, after my dad passed, I actually had lost a lot of things, if not everything. I had my machine stolen, and I remained in debt. And I thought I won't come back because now people start thinking you are incompetent, you see. So I was beginning to think it's not for me anymore, and I wanted a way out. So, but when God has called you to do something, you're still gonna do it. It's gonna be on you.
Yes.
So when I started seeking to God to ask, what name am I going to use this time? I don't want ML Creations. I don't want anything to do with my personal name. I want to give back glory to you, And this one time I was actually in church, and I heard this song for the first time. Trina was leading. I didn't even know Trina the gospel.
Yes,
she was leading it, and I didn't know what that. And it just, I'd heard that name before, but that particular day, it sounded very different. I went home and I sat, kept reading, and I called Trina, what does Ubuntu mean? And she says, oh, Ubuntu means testimony. I'm like, oh, really?
Yes.
It says testimony. So you see, I'm the type of a person, again, when I get a word that has meaning to me, I want to get my own meaning.
Yes.
It's like getting to know God for myself. I don't want somebody to come and tell me who God is. I don't want somebody to come and tell me what a testimony is, because my testimony is God.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So at that point, I started to research what Ubuntu really means. And I really came to understand that the actual name testimony means God will do it again.
Wow.
Yes. So I'm
even having goosebumps.
Yes. Just like you said, I had goosebumps as well. I was like, so God is just trying to tell me that He will do it again. And I decided I'll use the same name Ubuntu. And I started using it. And trust me, I've not gone back. And God did amazing things. And it's after I named it Ubuntu, then now I was looking for somebody to mentor me. And people kept on telling me, if you want somebody to mentor you in business, as a man, he's been in it for a long time. Maybe if we introduce you. And everybody kept on pointing to him. So one day I thought, okay, fine, let me approach him.
Yeah.
Then I approached him. Then when I approached him, he told me, I want you to be my wife.
Oh, wow.
So you see, how Ubuntu just comes and does everything, First testimony, I get a name, I go to look for a mentor, and he becomes my husband. So
and now the father of your child.
Yes. So it's testimony after testimony after testimony. And when I was doing a campaign to give back dresses, when I was getting married, my kitchen party, I'll kid you not, I didn't have enough so much support even from family.
Yes.
I had to do a lot of things. I had to raise my own money. That's a good. But women, can you please work
and raise your own money?
If you can, honestly speaking, if you can, don't give people headaches.
Yes.
There's so many reasons why people will not help you. They just don't like you, or they've got things to do. So you're not gonna sit there and cry and picture yourself and say this is what's happening. You gotta work.
Talking about that, I heard a certain woman who was saying, once you decide you want to get married or somebody wants to marry you, you should know why you're getting into that.
Can you do something for yourself, So I wanted my events at the end of the day, and then I realized most people that were so close to me were not showing much interest. Oh, congratulations, but then no input, no nothing. So I just said, I'm not a crybaby one, and I'm not the person not to get what I want. I must get what I want. I'm that type of a person. So if I say I'm gonna do a kitchen party, it has to be a boom.
Yes.
Even if you don't come to me and help me, don't expect to come and beg for you, because my Bible tells me ask and not beg.
Yes.
So the moment I begin to beg for you, to beg you, I'm out of God's will. And I want to be in God.
And I saw your kitchen party. Wow.
I want to be in God's. So I said, I'm going to work for this thing, and it's going to come out just as I want it to be. So, and I had it. So, and then I had a lot of friends coming in from, no, you're such a good person, want to help, want to do this, want to do that. After my kitchen party, that's when I went like, there's so many people out there that need my help, and like me, who even had a husband paying me for stuff. I had so many women who could not afford anything, you see. And then people would tell you to say, can you do things within your budget? Don't do events if you can't manage them. You know what? People are very insensitive. You see, as a girl, as a young person, you've never had all these things. Every dream for a girl is to wear a white wedding.
Yes.
And now, because we are Africans, every dream, not for a girl, for as long as you're in Africa, in Zambia, you want to sit there in your kitchen party, in your bride, you want to have your committee out there. So it's unfair that
you're the only one who doesn't like kitchen parties.
Well, maybe you're the only one. But you see, if you're like me, the reason why I did that, because me, I wanted it.
Yes.
Me, I wanted my 30 people committee, and I had 50 of them. Me, I wanted it. So if it's somebody's dream and they can't afford, come on, if we can help them, help them. It's not fair. I think it's not fair. We love different things. If you're not an outgoing person, I'm an outgoing person. Understand me, and I understand.
I love my wedding, but kitchen party, I'm like, I was telling my mom the other day, I'm like, kitchen
all
party.
those things. And for me, I really wanted it. So I understand when somebody says, I don't have, but I want to. And if I can, let me help out. So once I decided, let me do a campaign where I can, I'll come in. And people have got like serious stories. Some people would tell you, no, I don't have parents, nobody's helping me out. And the gentlemen don't have parents. And if their parents were alive, they would have managed. So if I can, why can't I?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how the campaign for Unwanted Dresses came out.
When to do it again?
I would do it again, God willing, I would do it. It's something that's the thing, it's not about me. Whether I do it, I don't do it, I'm married. So for me, I'm only asking God on behalf of people, make their day special.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, it's not about me, so I really still want to do it. Yeah.
So now, I followed you. WhatsApp status says Facebook post, and now I'm getting to know you on a personal level, and I've seen how much you are big on God. So I want to talk about your personal journey in terms of faith, because for me, trust me, I have had my highs and lows. Just this small life that I've lived, I've had I've had days where I'm like, Lord, I'm done.
Okay, I think for me, even to looking at what happened recently when I was having a child, I've always had events where God will push me to the core, like you need to trust in me. Equally, I've also had my highs and my lows, but because I've seen how big God is,
yes,
I have mastered some people. This is me. If I come in contact with you and they realize you're a person I could pick something from you, especially spiritually, I won't let you go. I won't let you go, trust me. I will feed my relationship with you. And if you don't call me every day, you don't text me every day, I will feed my relationship with you. Reason being is there are times when we are low, we need another person to stand in the gap for us. When I have my lows, there are people who I know are higher than me, and I'll call them to pray for me. This is how I feel. I don't feel like praying. I'm upset with God. This is not moving well. I have lost A, B, C, D. I feel frustrated. I feel annoyed. I don't know why I'm feeling like this, but at the same time, I know that God exists.
Yes.
So what I want you to do is pray for me to get back to my sanity. I do that a lot. I've equally had my highs and my lows. Looking at my faith journey, I grew up in church. That's why I said my late father was a huge part of me. It started with my dad, actually. As little kids, would always take him to church.
Mm.
Always take him to church. He would always, Mama, go to church. Always, always. It was, with him, it was church all the way. He would not skip church. He went to church every day, not every Sunday, every day. He was Catholic, so you know those 6:30 masses?
Yes.
If he has not gone for those, he would go for the later ones. So he would always drag us along, especially me. So I got so inclined with it that even he made sure the faith thing, like he made sure even if I don't, like even if at some point I do not manage to pay for his school or anything, your faith must remain. That's something he managed to do. So even as we grew as teenagers, even when you want to go this way, you would always come back to God. So, but for me, something, even as a child, I thought I had the call of God upon my life. Even when I want to do other things, even when I was, you get peer pressure, you obviously when you're at school, you have friends who want to do whatever. There was just something about me that just said, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Where just God guides you. By the time I was like 16, 17, I think I was very, very mature compared even to my age. I was so mature and I wanted to know more about God. So reading the Bible more made me do more. And then the other thing that made my faith really go strong, at some point my late father was unable to get into employment. He was an educated man, so he was not really a business person. He was not like me. He was more of get a degree, get a PhD and find a job. He was more like that. He really believed in school, graduate and get a job. So with him, even if he's not found really a job, he's not the type of a person to say, let me go look for a piece way. You have to force him. He believed in application, they call me for a job. So there was a period where that was not happening and we needed to go to school. So imagine, I would get on my knees, pray fast for my father to get a job. And I believed that no matter what, things will happen. And as I began to see things change from one level of glory to another, I was like, oh, so God can actually use me. So for me, that stuck with me to say, okay, all I am is God. If I did not pray, I wouldn't have been here. All I am is God. Even when I was leaving my dad to come and say, let me start my own life, I was so sold out that I can go hungry, you can't tell me anything. I was so sold out that people can be drinking, I can be there, I will not take alcohol. I was so sold out that I can, when a house full of everybody going to the club and I'll not go and I'll not do it. I was so sold out, it was dramatic, it was crazy. I'm telling you, I was so sold out. It was too late for the devil to push me out. I've gone broke to the core where you can't even pay rent. A friend of yours has to say, okay, let me accommodate you. But trust me, that same friend of mine will wake me up in the morning and say, yo, I heard you praying at night and you lifted up my spirit. That's how sold out I am.
This lady is Grace.
So that's it. And I've just noticed that whenever I get into a chapter in my life, it still draws me closer to God. Even if I'm in an environment where the other person is not as prayerful, there's something that will draw me closer to God. Because I think last year, December, getting into January, my faith levels have been a little bit shaky, I fell off a little bit. And yeah, I fell off a little bit, and that's the time I conceived. Yeah, that's the time I conceived. January, I was admitted that something entered in my ear. They needed to remove it, and they said they can't because it was so painful. It was just right on my eardrum. Had to be taken to theater. And then they told me, because you're just a month pregnant, when we take you to theater, because of the general anesthesia, the baby will come out. The medicine is too strong. What? First child, I just got married, everything. I'm like, no. So you see, that again prompted my faith up. I began to pray like a crazy person. I was admitted with my Bible, with my everything. I went to hospital, got into theater, did the whole OP, came out, my baby's still stuck in me.
Wow.
So that gave me the drive to say, God is still with me. You see, so I went through, immediately after that, I had been bleeding the whole next 4 months. So my first 5 months of my pregnancy was not easy. It was rough. Because every time I'll be going to the hospital, I'll be telling you're having a miscarriage. You're miscarrying. Let's meet you and see what happened. The baby was still, they check ultrasound, the baby's heartbeat is still there for 4 months straight.
Wow. Did you ever get to a point where you're saying, God, after all those things that I've passed through, and now I am pregnant, why is this thing still happening
Yes,
to me?
I did. I did. So I'm telling you, I've had my lows and my highs. I did. At some point, I even got to a point where I'm saying, God, I'm so tired, I'm becoming weak. But like I told you, I have this thing that I have mastered so well. I really love to recognize other people's strengths. So when I realize that you could be more prayerful than I am, I will stick on to you. That when I know I'm in a situation where I cannot do nothing, other people will stand in the gap for me. So there came a point where, because of the bleeding, I started losing blood a little bit, and I became weak, and I could not pray. At some point, I was just lying down. I was so tired, I was so weak, and I would constantly have a headache. So there's no way you can even say, God, but no. So I started making calls, fellowships with people that I know that when these people stand in the gap, things to move, So I had those type of people around me. So I was like, God, I'm tired, but my faith did not go down.
Yes.
So when now the doctor found out what was wrong with me and told me we were supposed to take you back to the theater. But the thing is, you have to work on your cervix. So it's a 50-50. Once your cervix opens, you're gonna lose your baby. I'm not 5 months pregnant and telling me that. I was like, okay, at the end of the day, I need to be fine. I signed and I said I was going to do it. And at that moment, you see, where you see that God is God, I was not praying. I just told God that morning, I said, God, today is the day. If you really want this baby to survive, my faith is in you. I went into the operation room, there was an operated one, came out, did the ultrasound, my baby was still there.
Wow.
Yeah. The doctors were so shocked how the service opened. My baby was still there. So I became better. 6 months I was growing, 7, 8, 9. So when I hit 9 months, I was like, good. The only thing I wanted was, I didn't want, guys, we are meant to carry for 9 months. Painful, crazy as it is. I said, it's my first time, I want the experience.
Yes.
So I said, I don't want a preemie, God. 9 months. So the moment I hit 9 months, I was like, good. So 9 months I started counting. Is it today? Is it every day? I was anxious until I got into 10 months.
Wow.
Yes. Actually, it went up to 41 weeks. I went up to 10. I went up to 10 months. And finally, when the baby was coming now, that was the most dramatic situations. At that point was when I really understood why I had been through the things I've been through in my life. Trust me, if I had not been through what I've been through in my life, I probably would have lost my time. I would have probably failed to pray. Because when I got into labor, I was supposed to have delivered at 7, and the baby was failing to come out. Literally failing to come out. And then he was almost out.
So you were at a private hospital?
Yes.
Taken to government hospital, which is UTH?
Yes.
Wow.
So now what happens at the point of delivery, when the baby was just, the doctor realized there was something wrong. And the doctors decided to push the baby back. So now anything can happen at that particular moment. And quickly placed me in an ambulance and rushed to UTH. So as we were going to UTH, I had 2 doctors with me in the back. My mom was sitting in front and my husband was following behind in the car.
Now, when you're telling me you're at a private hospital, so now they tell you you're going to UTH, what was running through your mind?
See, what was running through my mind was like, I wish I had done that before. Because I got people that told me, Mama, UTH is very good. We overlooked, we think we have underlooked it. It's very, very good. But I was like, no, but we're in the
private hospital.
I want proper treatment and stuff like that. So when they told me that, I kind of knew that I was still in safe hands. You see, I kind of knew I was still in safe hands. You people, I think it's life. The way I told myself and I told God, the way God loves me, the way I've always said God loves me, I think God loves His child as well. So at the end of the day, it's not about me. And I began to look at this way. I was probably used today to carry him. If he has a purpose with God, if God really wants him to walk here and do what God has called him to do, like God has done it with me, He's going to save him. If that's not the case, well and good, I will pray. But again, I was like, 41 weeks is too much. So, as well, there are so many things. It was traumatic. I was going through a lot. Got to change, the doctor was calling me on our way, this is the situation. The moment I reached, there were people waiting for me. I was put in an elevator. upstairs. And when we got there, now people said the doctor, this nurse checks, oh, the heartbeat for the baby is going down. We'll check that. Let's try to deliver. Oh, we go to theater. Then one doctor just popped in and said, let me check her. Was a senior doctor. Checked it and said, no, we can't do a C-section on this one. We're going to kill this baby.
Wow.
We have to help her remove the baby in a normal way. Hi. And I said, no, I can't. He said, you can't, so we're going to help. So they just had to now start helping me push out. So, within, I think that was a few minutes. And he came out, but when he came out, obviously the heartbeat went down.
Yeah.
Like he came out and just like, I'm like, yo, breathe.
Yeah.
I went crazy. You never felt seen. I went crazy. I had strength in a short period of time. The doctor says, breathe on his head and see he's not crying. I just started praying to God. I started screaming out to God. The one doctor got him, and I don't know. I started screaming out to God. The next day I heard of somebody, and then he was breathing really, really fast. So they grabbed him and just ran, not even at what, ran. Yeah. So this nurse, they gave him this nurse just to run with him straight to the intensive care. And so when that nurse came back and said, no, he's continued crying and he's breathing, so put him on oxygen. And he's been taken care of that side. He's going to be.
So now the name, Anani, was it the doctor that helped you, or it was a name on its own? Like you and your husband just decided to call him?
So before he was born, actually, I was looking we were looking for names. Initially, I wanted a baby girl. So when I found out it was a boy after doing the scan, I was stuck on. So when the father said, what do you want us to name him? I was just like, name him after you. I wouldn't mind. But the dad says, no, okay, yeah, if you want him to get my name, it's okay. But he said he wanted a name from the Bible. So he told me to select. That's how good my husband is. I'm married to a very nice man. He's not the type of, I'm the man.
Yes.
He's not like that. I'll be lying, he's not like that. He told me to pick 10 names for me.
Lord, we've seen what you do for other people.
So he told me, pick names for me and I'll pick. So I picked 10 and he picked 4 and he said, let me pray over this 4. I'll pick 1. Then when he was born, that's when he told me, he said, we're going to call him Anani. So Anani means he's with God, covered by God, and a cloud. And in Hebrew, it means prophecy.
You need to hear what I was visiting my roommate this morning. Oh, her son's name is Anani. Probably Anani Pasamulungu. Or I was busy coming up with
it's an Hebrew name. It's an Hebrew name. Then Chiza means has come.
So it had nothing to do with the doctor.
Nothing. We had picked names before him. Yeah, before we even saw him. So I'm those Pentecostal crazy women. So I was even, because when the father told me, okay, so I've picked 4, I told him pick 2. So he picked 2 again. Like, okay, I'll remain with these 2. So when the baby is born, we will know which one between the 2. So there was Azariah and Anan. Then every time I'm praying to God, Father, if it's Anan, I was crazy like that. I was busy calling him by his name. So sometimes when I look back, I'm like, there's no way this guy boy was going to leave me. I've been calling him in existence even before he was after. So that's the journey. And so my stay at the intensive care, it was very not a good experience, but at the same time I thank God for it. It's tiring, it's crazy, but because my baby was pulling so quick and he was fine within a few days, I decided I will concentrate on what's happening. Like I told you, I always want to find her. So I decided to concentrate on what was happening in that area. And I realized that I began to speak to people, so how are you, Shani? Why do you know? And women will be explaining to you how they are abandoned, how they don't have men by their side, how they come from struggling families, others are preemies, other babies are got crazy conditions. Maybe they'll tell them, no, you need to do this scan, and at UTH they don't have the machine, you have to go elsewhere, all those things. So they were struggling. they were struggling, so it was really crazy. I began to share my diapers for the baby. Yeah, I began to share my Vaseline because they only allow you to put Vaseline on the baby. They don't allow, they don't allow reusable nappies. Reason being is because babies are too little there, they can get infections. So only diapers and wipes. So you see, those things are expensive for people to buy. Yeah, and I realized most of them, if the hospital has not given them, if any child has gone the holiday, they can't die. Yeah, so, and I thought about it. I said, okay, I think we can serve purpose. I have got quite a good following. So when I tell people to say, look, can we do this? I knew people would come up on board. So for me, my thought was just like, we're going to be donating these things, that's all. I didn't understand how big it would be. Yeah.
Guys, she's doing a Thanksgiving on Christmas Day, right?
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
All you need to do is contribute as
little as
20 kwacha towards this Thanksgiving for Anani. Yes, Anani's Thanksgiving.
So that's basically it.
Oh, wow. This is so amazing and very encouraging and inspiring. I'm really inspired, and I know you can't do that by yourself. I know you have a bunch of people that have been from day one with you, like your husband and your close friends, and I would like to be part of it. So if there's any little space that precious little things can come on board, you should always.
So we will definitely get in touch with Precious Little Things. And in the way that other people can donate to it is we're only asking people to give diapers, any brand. We'll appreciate wipes and Vaseline for the neonatal intensive care at UTH. And yeah, that's it. And for those that want to come in mandatory, we're asking for as little as a 20 kwacha, for the mothers. And yeah, so for those that want to reach out to me, they can get to me on, if you want to use my Facebook account, it's Mwewa. If you want to use my personal line to make a call, contribute to anything, you can reach out to me on 0965 02 1645, and that's the MTN. The Airtel line is 0975 288 125. Yeah.
So Mwewa, I had an amazing conversation with you, and I learned so many things. I learned how to have God. From what I've taken out from this conversation is God is just not the center of your life, but He's the beginning, the end, the center. He's your everything. So I have learned so many things, and I'm really inspired. And